Good morning, everyone, and welcome. Today, we're diving into the topic of identifying decision criteria. This presentation will guide you through practical steps and real-life examples to help you make clearer, more informed decisions. Let's explore how you can sharpen your decision-making process and ensure your choices are based on well-defined criteria. I'm excited to get started. When we talk about decision criteria, we're referring to measurable or descriptive factors that help us evaluate and compare different options. These criteria act as standards or benchmarks, guiding our choices in a clear and structured way. For example, one common decision criterion might be a cost limit, such as keeping expenses under $10,000. This sets a specific financial boundary that helps narrow down the options to those that fit within the budget. Having well-defined decision criteria is essential for making informed and consistent decisions. When we talk about why decision criteria matter in decision-making, the first key point is clarity. Having clear decision criteria helps us define our priorities and makes it easier to understand the different options we face. It removes ambiguity and guides us toward the best choice. Next is alignment. Well-established criteria ensure that our decisions are in line with the overall objectives and goals of our organization. This means every choice we make supports the bigger picture and helps us move forward in a consistent direction. Lastly, transparency is crucial. Using clear criteria allows for open and fair comparison among alternatives. It makes the decision-making process more transparent, so everyone involved understands why a particular option was chosen. Together, these points show how important decision criteria are for effective and fair decision-making. Here we focus on the very first step in any decision-making process, understanding your objective. It's crucial to clearly identify the primary goal that your decision needs to achieve. This helps sharpen your focus and directs all your efforts toward what truly matters. By asking yourself, what outcome matters most? You ensure that every choice aligns with this key result, making your decision more effective and purposeful. The image here of the archer aiming at a target perfectly symbolizes the importance of having a clear aim before taking action. At this stage, our focus is on gathering stakeholder inputs to ensure we have a well-rounded understanding of the project requirements. First, we identify key stakeholder groups like customers, finance, and operations. This diversity helps us capture a broad range of perspectives and insights, which is crucial for making balanced decisions. Next, we collect varying priorities and constraints from these groups. This process guarantees that the criteria list we develop is both comprehensive and balanced, reflecting the needs of everyone involved. Finally, as one stakeholder aptly puts it, while cost-effectiveness remains our top priority, we also have to make sure that operational efficiency standards are met. This quote really highlights the delicate balance we need to strike as we move forward. The image here gives a nice visual of a bustling local eatery, reminding us that real-world environments are complex and diverse, just like the inputs we're gathering. Now let's focus on step 3, which is about listing potential criteria. Here, the goal is to brainstorm both quantitative and qualitative factors that relate to your objective. It's important to capture all possible criteria at this stage without filtering anything out. This approach helps ensure you consider a broad range of factors before you start refining the list to focus on what's most relevant and impactful. By doing this, you'll build a solid foundation for making well-informed decisions as you move forward. Now we're looking at step 4. Categorize criteria into quantitative and qualitative. On one side, we have quantitative criteria, which are measurable and numeric. These include factors like price in US dollars, delivery time measured in days, and uptime expressed as a percentage. These types of criteria allow us to make clear, data-driven comparisons between options. On the other hand, qualitative criteria cover more descriptive and subjective elements. This includes things like brand fit, which speaks to how well a vendor aligns with your company's values, customer experience, which reflects how users perceive the product or service, and vendor responsiveness, indicating how quickly and effectively a vendor communicates. These qualitative factors offer valuable insights into aspects that numbers alone can't capture, helping us get a fuller picture when making decisions. Now, let's focus on step 5, which is all about prioritizing and refining criteria. First, when we talk about prioritizing methods, it's important to use techniques like weighting, ranking, or grouping. These approaches help us order the criteria by their importance, making decision-making clearer and more structured. Next, refining criteria means making sure each one is specific, measurable, and doesn't overlap with others. This clarity allows for more effective evaluation and prevents confusion later on. Together, these steps help streamline the decision process, ensuring we focus on what's truly vital. Here we have a clear comparison of vendor performance across 4 key decision criteria: cost, quality, delivery time, and support. Vendor C scores highest in cost and delivery time, making them a strong contender for affordability and timely delivery. Vendor A leads in support, indicating excellent customer service, while Vendor B excels in quality, suggesting reliable product standards. This chart helps us weigh each vendor's strengths against our priorities, so we can make a well-informed choice based on which criteria matter most to our project. When deciding on a laptop for personal use, 3 key criteria often come into play. First is price, which tells us how affordable the laptop is compared to other options on the market. It's important to find a balance between cost and the features you need. Next is performance, which evaluates the laptop's processing power and how quickly it can handle various tasks. This determines how smoothly your day-to-day activities will run. Lastly, battery life measures how long the laptop can operate on a single charge, which is crucial if you need to use your device on the go without constantly searching for an outlet. These factors together help us make a well-rounded, informed choice. When identifying decision criteria, there are several common challenges that can complicate the process. First, unclear objectives can create confusion. Without clear goals, it becomes difficult to define criteria that truly align with what we want to achieve. Next, conflicting stakeholder priorities often arise. Different people involved may have varying views on what's important, which can lead to disagreements and make it harder to settle on common criteria. Another challenge comes from hidden assumptions. Sometimes, unstated beliefs or biases influence the criteria selection without us even realizing it, which can skew the decision-making process. Lastly, overlapping criteria can be a problem. When criteria are too broad or redundant, they reduce decision clarity and make it harder to prioritize effectively. Addressing these challenges upfront helps create a more transparent and focused decision-making framework. When validating your decision criteria, start with pilot scoring. This means testing your criteria by scoring a small set of real options to ensure they're practical and clear. Next, get an external review by seeking feedback from outside experts or stakeholders, which helps verify that your criteria are relevant and complete. Then, perform sensitivity analysis by running tests to see how changing the weights affects the overall ranking of options, giving you insight into the robustness of your decision. Finally, make sure to trace each criterion back to your decision goal, confirming that every criterion directly supports your objective and is actionable. These steps will help you build strong, reliable decision criteria. Here, we summarize the key steps for identifying decision criteria. First, we start by clarifying the objective and identifying the stakeholders involved. This ensures everyone's goals are aligned from the beginning. Next, we refine the criteria by categorizing and prioritizing them, which helps eliminate any overlap and streamlines the decision-making process. Finally, we validate our choices by conducting pilot scoring and sensitivity checks to confirm the criteria's reliability and accuracy. This structured approach helps us make well-informed decisions with confidence. Now, let's move into our questions and discussion section. First, I want to focus on the key criteria. What are the must-haves for your team? Understanding which factors are non-negotiable helps us align our approach effectively. Next, let's talk about anticipated trade-offs. Where do you see the biggest compromises or challenges arising? Identifying these early allows us to plan strategically. Finally, would you be interested in a live demonstration of the scoring system? This demo can provide practical insight into how everything works in real time. I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts and addressing any questions you might have. As we wrap up, I want to highlight a few key points. First, if you need any help applying decision criteria or want access to templates and coaching, feel free to reach out. Our contact information is here to support you. We've also prepared resources like a scoring template, checklist, and a quick guide that are available for you to use at any time. If you have feedback or want to request additional templates or even a follow-up workshop, you can easily email us. We're eager to hear from you. Finally, thank you sincerely for your attention and participation today. It's been a pleasure working through this material with you.